gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together till the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We got on.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Aaron Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, meteorologist Aaron Tuttle back with you again. It is about 9:45 here on your Thursday evening, so thanks for joining me. You're saying, well, what are you doing a weather forecast for, Aaron? We got something coming? The answer is yes, we do. We got some storms coming, believe it or not. They'll be here tomorrow, late day into tomorrow evening. You're going, well, this is news to me. I'm like, well, that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. So if you read my blog on Sunday, I mentioned how we were going to have a weaker system coming through for Friday. And that is still the case. We are going to have a weaker storm system coming in across Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma Panhandle on Friday. And when that does so, that's going to provide us for a little opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms, some pretty decent rainfall, and yeah, I believe a little bit of severe weather. And it might be kind of interesting. The type of situation we're going to be in is unusual, to say the least. We're going to have moisture starve at the lower levels, but we're going to have some slight mid-level instability, and we're going to have a lot of shear, so a lot of rotational characteristics in the atmosphere. So what I could foresee happening is a very high-based, elevated, supercellular type structure with a wall cloud and a little funnel. I don't think it would come down, but I'm just saying that's what I could envision tomorrow being a little weird. So that's what we're going to talk about here for tonight. So thanks for joining me. Make sure you like and share this video. Tell your friends and family about AT's weather. All that good stuff. And we're going to get on with the program, shall we? All right, first things first out there. Currently, it was chilly, man. Today, 48 degrees currently here in my backyard. And, we just got used to the warmer weather. And then this stuff comes and hits us yesterday and today, and I'm over it. So I don't know about you, but I'm totally over it. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So tonight, if you guys up there in the Tulsa area in northeast Oklahoma, you're going to get a freeze. You're going, what? Yeah, man, lows tonight into the upper 20s and low 30s across the northeastern corner of the state on the northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. So there is a freeze warning as a result. Does not include the Tulsa metropolitan area, but does cover up north toward Baldersville, Muskogee, Fort Smith, even down to parts of eastern and southeastern Oklahoma, as yes, it will be a cold start to the day. So in the upper levels of the atmosphere, bring your little attention to this little spot right about in here. We have a little upper level disturbance that's going to be swinging on through. It'll zip on in about like this as we head into tomorrow in the midday hours and afternoon, and then by tomorrow evening moving right over Oklahoma City. So that's going to be the track in the satellite flow. Now the Storm Prediction Center has put out a marginal ring of some thunderstorms. This is not what you would call a slight risk. It is a marginal risk. They could go to a slight, just depending on how the data looks tomorrow. This is going to be an interesting event just for the fact that we're just going to get some elevated showers and thunderstorms around here. And normally this time of the year we have a lot of low-level juice to work with. We're not going to have that for tomorrow. So here's a look at the details on that. I really don't expect much hail with this. Weather Service has a 1/4 inch size hail Honestly, I'd be surprised if it gets that high. But we probably have pockets of wind up around 60 miles per hour. So that'll be probably the big case. Tornado potential obviously very low with this. And as I said, because I still think we're getting a little monkey business out of this whole deal, and I'll explain here in a second. When we take a look at the shear in the atmosphere, in other words, how well those vectors turn, we don't really have much in the way of low-level instability or CAPE values, but we have this ridiculous amount of cross-sectional shear. We have a nice east-southeast component at the surface, and almost a due westerly component. That's almost like, good grief, 170 degrees or 160 degrees of shear of turning in the atmosphere. And so the atmosphere is going to spin like a top. So any storm that can kind of get somewhat anchored in that environment is going to rotate. And it's going to be probably a nice little moisture-starved looking barber pole is what it's going to look like in my envisionment of this for late tomorrow afternoon and evening out there across western Oklahoma, moving to the east by dark. So if we do look at the what we call the significant tornado parameter, there's really not one. There's a little hint of something way down here in southwest Oklahoma, northwestern Texas, but that's about it, only because we just don't have the low-level ingredients out there. When plotted a sounding, you do have a little bit more instability in this region. CAPE value is up around 1,000 or so, and you have quite a bit of shear, and so that's the kind of the issue here. Although the wind speeds are a little weaker in this particular panel I just clicked on, but that's a outlier. Most of them are actually quite strong, and I'll show you that here in a second. All right, so let's take a look here at the moisture. So we're talking about the dew point values. Right now we're in the mid-20s. So dew point values in the mid-20s is very dry out there, right? You got to put a lot of lotion on your skin to keep it from cracking. Well, as we head into tomorrow afternoon, we do start to see some of this green show up, right? Well, so there is some low-level moisture coming in, a little narrow corridor, theta E axis of, looks like low 40 dew points. Now, low 40 dew points in any other situation for severe weather in spring, I'd laugh at. I wouldn't even call it what we're talking about. What's interesting, though, is out here in the west, the dew points rise because of the rain itself. So the rain itself will actually help to lower, or I should say saturate the lower levels of the atmosphere during the evening hours, and therefore any storm then that comes over into this environment will actually have a little extra moisture to work with when it otherwise wouldn't have. And with the shear in place, like I said, I could see something weird happening. But it's just going to be more of an interesting deal, not a widespread, oh my goodness, I'm scared to death deal. Just more of a freak of nature. I'm just looking forward to a freak of nature tomorrow is what I'm talking about. But needless to say, the moisture will deepen a little bit as the rain moves through overnight into early Saturday morning for moving quickly out. We'll give you the timeline on that here in a second. So here's a look at the upper level disturbance at, there's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there's 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, the upper low is right about here, and all this little color you see on the map represents energy or lift in the atmosphere out ahead of it. So that is moving now into central and western Oklahoma on into the Panhandle. So that is our little upper level storm system working with the meager moisture that we did talk about. And when we do talk about the moisture at the 850 millibar level, I want to show you that by the evening hours, there is that little theta E axis even above the surface where some low-level moisture is working in from Texas. But if you look at this, I'm going to go through right here. See all the deep moistures down here from the Gulf of Mexico into southern Texas. So this deep moisture never quite makes it. Now, if it had, there'd be a different story for tomorrow. We'll be talking about a much more widespread, much more significant severe weather event versus just this marginal kind of a interesting phenomenon. All right, so anyway, the moisture will move through, of course, because we'll get the rain with it. I'll show you that here in 2 shakes. First things first, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's one look at the model data for tomorrow with the rainfall amounts. So it's got these little piddly, pesky, elevated showers moving through at 6 o'clock here in central Oklahoma and west central, but some meteor thunderstorms out here in the Panhandle. And as we head into the 7 and 8 o'clock hour, it does have some stronger thunderstorms out here in western Oklahoma and on down to southwest Oklahoma. Now, they don't really hold together much or do much as they move through central parts of the state, according to this model, but they bring the rain through 4 o'clock in the morning through Oklahoma City, then through eastern Oklahoma, and it's out of here by daybreak. So if you have any morning activity on Saturday, you're still looking good, such as garage sales, etc. All right, so if I go look at the other high resolution model for the same time frame, this is our very short term, we'll see what it does with that little line. So there's little sprinkles and showers that move through, elevated thunder, might even get a few lightning strikes out of this, other stronger stuff out to the west. Nice little cluster moving in at 7 o'clock out here, western, southwestern Oklahoma, and then that activity continues to move east, so it's a little bit more bullish with the rainfall here over Oklahoma City. It points out to the west through 10 o'clock, And there's midnight hour, still some lingering sprinkles through 1 and 2. And it's a little faster, so it takes that rain out of here by 2 o'clock in the morning. Still exits the state, though, by daybreak. All right, so now, let's see, is it this the map I had? Yes, it was. Okay, so if I just took a snapshot at 8 o'clock in the evening, this is the hodograph map. And what I want to show you this was the ridiculous turning in the atmosphere with the wind. Looks like a staircase. Kind of if you go up along a twisting staircase like this, that's kind of what the wind is doing. And that's what causes that spin, and this hodograph is looking really nice. I mean, like I said, if we had a lot of deep level of moisture, we'd be in trouble. This is a nice classic supercell structure. But here's the kicker. We don't have quite the mid-level instability here. We're borderline than they did there in southwest Oklahoma. And we have this little dry area here. So what happens is a lot of times when you get the rain that develops in this region, it'll fall through this drier air mass, and sometimes you get some downdrafts, like kind of like a dry microburst type deal. So you can get some damaging winds within this as little cells collapse and this evaporative cooling commences when it tries to saturate this layer. So that's one of the aspects of it. It's a little bit of wind, regardless of the fact that we'll probably see quite a bit of shear, because we're looking at shear helicity values around 713 from the surface of 3 kilometers, and that's unheard of. That's ridiculous amount of turning in the atmosphere. So that's what I'm saying. I expect just some funky cloud conditions tomorrow. Cloud structure, nice little barber pole, which means like cool turning with little, there's like a stack of donuts on top of each other, but very very meager, very wimpy looking, like anemic, so to speak. But should be pretty photogenic, I would imagine. And then you might even see a little wall cloud under one of them, very little baby wall cloud. You might even see a baby finger funnel. That's kind of the deal it is, because it's pretty high based, unless that lower level saturates enough from the first round of some light rain, and that's when things kind of get a little funky. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for tomorrow in the afternoon and evening across the western half of the state. And the models do hint that we'll probably see some pockets of wind out here in the orange, darker orange color. It's up around 50. Here's a brown shading the panhandle around 64 miles per hour. So again, I think up to 60 is probably a good call for a couple of those little areas that may get a little out of control. We do look at rainfall. It's kind of give and take. So some areas are going to pick up maybe half an inch in some of those heavier thunderstorm regions where the atmosphere saturates a little bit better. Right now the models favor the southwestern quadrant of Oklahoma, bounded by I-40 and 35. Another little hot spot here, northwest Oklahoma and western Oklahoma. Otherwise, here in central, it's kind of feast or famine depending on where you live. And then eastern Oklahoma, yeah, some rain, but it looks like anywhere from nothing, a few sprinkles, to a quarter of an inch, to maybe another half inch once you get close to the Arkansas border there along I-40. And so that's kind of how that breaks down. Temperature-wise, well, if you're like me, you got plants in the garage. You're wanting to get rid of them, right? And by get rid of them, put them outside. So overnight lows are finally getting up there after tonight. So we'll be back into the 40s and 50s over the next several nights. And we're going to get a little cool here for April 8th and 9th in the morning. But daytime high is going to be great, man. I mean, this is some really nice weather, stretch of weather coming up that we're going to be seeing. Now, we are going to see some thunderstorms in this period here for Monday. And so we're not quite done with the rain. I want to give you the forecast here just for tomorrow at first, and then we can talk about after that fact, right? And so, and I hadn't even looked yet because I was too busy focused on what may happen in the short term. But let's go ahead and do that. So which one of these do I want to use? We'll use this bigger version here. And we'll show you how things will evolve a little bit from our Sunday into Monday. As usual, I'm faster than the internet is. Hard to believe. All right, let's go. So here's that little bit of rain for tonight, tomorrow night. That moves on by, and then what do we have here? Sunday night. Look at that, some more rain bubbling up there in southern Oklahoma. And that will continue to North Texas through early Monday morning and should migrate a little bit more to the north on Monday. So right now the models have the bulk of it down here across the northern half of Texas and about the southern third of Oklahoma at the initial stage for Monday itself. Monday night it does produce a little bit more across northern Oklahoma and kind of spotty parts of central. The big change, though, in this has brought the system a little bit more to the south, and therefore we're not getting as much widespread rain as the earlier models have indicated. But that happens when you're trying to look at stuff a week out. And now that we're just a few more days out, it's kind of hone in a little bit more down to the south. Then after that, another strong little front comes in here, and that's what's going to knock us back in the 40s for lows, those lower 40s. That's for Tuesday. It does bring a little bit of showers and storms with it there in northeast Oklahoma. Otherwise, man, we're just not getting a whole lot of rain here through the first week of April. And we're going to need some rain. So let's go beyond that. Let's go long range, right? Let's go extended. Let's see if I can find you a nut for your squirrel. All right. So again on Monday, this model still favors more of a northward track, so it's got a little bit more rain here in central Oklahoma. So I'm quietly rooting for this one because never mind, I'm not quietly, I'm verbally, boastfully rooting for this one because we need some more rain. Otherwise, the heavier stuff is still though mostly across the southern half of Oklahoma and northern half of Texas. All right, so that's out of here. There's a little stuff there for Wednesday night or Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. That's out of there for northeast Oklahoma. Then after that, good grief, come on, man. Come on, man, to quote President. All right, so there's Monday the 11th, a little bit of light rain there. Are we going to get anything? This is so lame. There's the 13th. Oh, here we got some storms finally in North Texas again, thanks to another strong front that shoves all the good stuff down. And that's on the 13th. Okay, this is so lame. What in the world, man? What happened to our severe weather season? I'm in the middle of April, guys. Middle of April. We got nothing to write home about. That's just sad. So anyway, that's what I got for you right now. It is what it is, right? But hey, you got all the details. And here's the deal, though. This far out, we're looking at that long-range stuff. A lot of times the weather will kind of sneak in there somewhere, and we'll get some action. So don't worry if you're a little concerned that we're not going to quite get much. I think we'll still see some stuff going. Checking something else real quick behind the scenes while you guys talk amongst yourself. Not liking what I see. Interesting. Okay. Sorry. Got to do a little work on the side, so it's called multitasking. Ugh. Ridiculous. Let me try something else. Hold that thought. Be right back. Alright, it says I'm live, but it's not showing it. So let me go to another page. So what I'm doing is added Rumble for my live broadcasts, and I'm working with those guys to give me 2 simultaneous live keys. Okay, there it is. All right, so it is working. Okay, I believe. Hold that thought. I think it's working. Yeah, there it is. Okay, good. Okay, so I had to do a little. The only way I can do this is live, so I can't troubleshoot without it. So sorry, I had to disappear there for 30 seconds while I could think about something. All right, so checking you guys out on YouTube, by the way. Thanks for your comments. I see the same people over and over and over, so it's always good. Jim is always in the house from Mustang, and Minoki and Nancy. Ladies are always there as well, so it's always good to see you. And of course, little Miss Jody's got you taken care of. She corrals all the cats for me. She gets you guys squared away. All right, let me go Facebook real quick, and I'm gonna load in the last few comments because I can't do it while I press some buttons. So let's see here. All right, let me check the last few comments here. See if you guys have any question. Jennifer says farmers can definitely do without the big storms. I hear you. That's for sure. Nobody really wants severe stuff except for meteorologists. They're the ones that want this stuff. So Nate wants to watch some microbursts down there in southwest Oklahoma. I'm telling you. I didn't show this, but there is a little bit better risk of severe weather in northwestern Texas. let me show you that. What did I look at earlier where I saw that? I look at so much stuff, and oh, where was I? What was that? I'm trying to think. Was it? Oh, no. What was it? What was I looking at? Come on, Aaron, get with the program. I'll find it here in a minute. I think I will. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna find it. I don't even know what I was looking at earlier. Oh, I was doing too many things at once. That happens sometimes. I'm getting old. Anyway, I was going to show you something, but I can't remember what I was going to show you, so it didn't do me any good or you. I can just tell you that in northwest Oklahoma from southwest Oklahoma, they had some better signals for a little bit, added extra kick to some moisture down there for some severe weather. Oh, it was did I do a forecast sounding? Is that what I did? No, it's not what I did. I mean, it is what I did, but hold on. Let me go do something. Because now I'm, like, determined to figure out what it was that I looked at. Oh, was it this? Let's find out. Hold on a second. No, it wasn't that. Unless it was this model. Just stare at my face for a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see here. Okay, this wasn't it either, but I'm giving up. So this is this is the most unstable cape. So this is where you would get the best, if any, instability in the atmosphere, and it kind of focused it across eastern Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma during the early part of the evening, and then down here in northwestern Texas. So that was kind of where it had some of the best instability, and that's this mid-level stuff right here. But it also has a deeper dew point depression. So in other words, the actual surface temperature and the dew point are much farther away from one another. So this indicates a pretty good environment for some dry microbursts. So some good damaging wind in this case. So that's in northwestern Texas. But anyway, so let's, I don't know, it was something else I looked at, but at least that's part of the reason why I looked at that area. Just to let you guys know. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, there was. This is, let me see. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the what ifs. So this was the upper low here, and we have coming in out of the bottom of this low right here in the central Oklahoma, kind of a southwest to west wind. This is called a jet max, speed max, up around, what's our speed here in the pink? So it's up around 50 knots. So that's good. So if you, for example, I'm showing you what the ingredients are for severe weather. So we had that for ingredient. We had this live has pretty much ended. So I'm gonna get out of here because I think I lost my internet. So I think I'm dead in the water. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Sorry how this kind of ended, but sometimes this stuff happens. All right, we'll talk again soon. Take care.